Aloha Synergy family. Howie Hanneman coming to you live from Synergy Worldwide corporate headquarters for a special webinar tonight to share with you the weight management solutions that will transform your life. We're very pleased to have with us the formulator, the developer of our SLMSmart product line, Miss Dr. Stacey Bell. And she's been just a wonderful person to be a part of, to be in this company, and to share this great knowledge that she brings to Synergy Worldwide. You can see her credentials in front of you, how many years that she has in health and nutrition, in the many papers and books that she has written, the patents that she carries. This is some amazing work that she has been able to accomplish throughout her life, and to have us as Synergy family be able to be beneficiaries of this amazing experience. It's truly a blessing for us, and it truly gives us another opportunity for us to leave a legacy as we address the #2 health concern in all of America, and that is weight management. We already have #1 that we address with Pro-Arginine Plus in cardiovascular disease, and now we're entering in a $60 billion industry of weight management, and we're here to learn about these amazing products. So ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I give you tonight our host, our guest speaker, Dr. Stacey Bell.
Good evening, everyone. I'm very happy to be here and get the chance to talk to you all directly and hopefully hear back some questions afterwards. I'm here to talk to you about the development of the SLMSmart program. And what I'm going to do is take you through the journey that I went through of assembling the knowledge that's out there about how to help people lose weight without being hungry, lose it in a healthy fashion, and keep it off. And I'm going to take you through the journey then, if you will, of some of the things that I thought about and considered in developing the program. The first thing is I want to share with you a new tool that's available. It's called a telomere measurement, and telomeres are little pieces of protein in every cell in your body, and they get shorter and shorter the longer and longer you live. And what you'd really like to do is keep them pretty long so you live a long, healthy life. If they get short too fast, you're often going to die prematurely. Now, a lot of things make them shorter. Diseases we would expect, like if someone develops heart disease or cancer. But what people haven't considered until recently is what effect does being overweight have on shortening these little telomeres. Remember, you don't want them to get short. You'd like them to be nice and long, like they were when you were a child. Well, heart disease does make the little telomeres shorter, and it shortens lifespan by about 6 years. But look at some of these other things. You might say, well, smoking, we know that shortens somebody's life only by about 7.5 years. But being overweight and not exercising really takes a toll on life expectancy. And these are things that can be fixed as long as someone is willing to do it and has the right tools to do it. Now, I didn't know about this telomeric aging when I was talking to my patients 10, 15 years ago. I didn't have a good thing to say, look, these are the facts. This is how much impact it has on your body of how long you're going to live. Do you want to do something about it today or tomorrow or maybe never? Never. But at least today I share this chart with you, and you can use it when you talk to others about being overweight and treatments. So the problem really lies in excess body fat, and it's measured by how much you weigh. It's measured by something called body mass index, which you can all type in and look up online, and we have it as part of the Synergy book. And also how big your waist is. You don't want a big waist circumference either, because that increases your risk of getting diabetes or heart disease. So at any overweight size, any high BMI or any waist size above normal, you have a double chance of dying prematurely. You don't want that. You want to live a long life. So many people say they want to live a long time and live in a healthy fashion. The best way to do that is get your body fat in check, get your waist size under control, and get your BMI back to a normal range. The magic about losing weight, though, is the body is only looking for just a small amount to make itself so much healthier. And all these risks of dying early and getting chronic conditions like diabetes and heart disease, they all go away miraculously with a 10% weight loss. So say someone's 150 pounds, that's 15 pounds for that person. So how do I know this? Well, there's multiple studies to confirm this statement, that a little's a lot. You lose 5 to 10% of your body weight, you lower your chances of getting heart disease, you help people with type 2 diabetes, and in combination of both of those things, here's what happens to people. You lose 5% of your body weight, up to 10% of your body weight, your blood pressure goes down, blood triglycerides go down, those are fats floating around in your blood, and blood sugar goes down, and your good cholesterol even goes up. It's really hard to get that to go up without a drug, and here you can do it by magically losing weight. And it's not these big weight losses that produce this. This is a modest amount. You'll feel better. You'll go down a dress size and a pant size, and your body will be thankful. So how's everyone else doing on the market? I mean, are we got a better plan here? And I would say that we do here at Synergy. But what are the others doing? A study was done on the popular diets across the country. It was done at Tufts Medical School. They looked at 5 or 6 diets, all the usual suspects. It was, Weight Watchers and Zone and Atkins and Jenny Craig. And a lot of participants came and they got to pick their own diet plan they wanted to be on. They were all overweight, and they all said, oh, yeah, we desperately want to lose weight, and we want to lose it on the plan. And if anything costs any money, it got paid for. So the people really had no reason not to be totally compliant and get into this. Sadly, after a year of all this work, the weight loss was 2 to 3% of the body weight. And as I showed you from the previous slide, that really doesn't have an impact on any health benefit. So for a 200-pound person, that's a 4 or 5 pound weight loss. It's not a lot for a lot of effort over a year's time. Other diets are even worse. They don't have any data on them. No data collected. They probably don't work, and they probably aren't very good. For example, skipping meals, avoiding nutrients, not following unhealthy protocols just isn't very good. The most robust data, though, are on meal replacement data. And over 6 months, you can see people lose 10 pounds a week, 10 pounds over 6 months. That means that if you took 1 shake every day, this is what would happen to you. Replaced 1 meal. 4 years, good, 21-pound weight loss. And then 10 years, you may say, what's she saying to me? You only lost 6 pounds after 10 years? And I say, yes, you do. If you took a meal replacement shake, substituted usually breakfast, but 1 meal a day, and just took a replacement shake, at the end of 10 years, it was really hard to lose a lot of weight. But what was more stunning is the other group, who was also on a diet, in fact on a heart-healthy diet, and was overweight and wanted to lose weight, they gained 24 pounds in 10 years. And I can tell you, most Americans, starting at age 30 up to about age 65 years old, gain about 1 to 2 pounds a year every year. It's sort of obligatory. It's insidious because you don't really see it coming, but then at the end of 10 years you say, gee, these pants don't fit me anymore, or I've gone up in a dress size. And over longer periods of time, people gain weight very, very slowly. As such, it's very hard to get it all off in one fell swoop, like in a couple of weeks. So meal replacements have a role, and hold that thought because you're going to be hearing about this later. Lastly, people have surgery options to have their stomach stapled, is what we say as a jargon, but it's scary for people. Very few even embark on it, so it's really not an option for most of the people you're going to come in contact with. So what do we have today, and how are Americans told to eat? Well, as of June 2011, we have a new way of eating. It's an upgrade from the food pyramid. It's widely endorsed by Mrs. Obama, and it's simple and pretty straightforward, and it's telling everybody how to eat, and not only everybody that's healthy, it's been adopted by the American Diabetes Association and the American Heart Association. And it's pretty much what you see, some protein, fruits and vegetables, dairy, and assortment of grains. So is this the best option? And that's what I started with. I said, here's what people that you're going to meet every day are told to eat, things that look like this. And then we realized as a result of doing this, 2/3 of the population is overweight or obese. So to me, that seemed like a disconnect. And why are we doing this if it's only making people heavy and hungry and not eating properly? So let me share with you some recent research studies that also helped in shaping the SLMSmart program. This paper was very important in my eyes, and it was important for several reasons. First of all, it compared 3 diets. It compared the MyPlate one, the one that I just showed you, the standard American diet, and that was the control group. And then it used a diet called a low glycemic index diet, which managed carbohydrates. It didn't eliminate them from the diet, but it made sure that the carbohydrates included didn't have a big impact on raising blood sugar. The last diet plan was very much like what Dr. Atkins advocated, high protein and some fat and very, very low carbohydrate. And they enrolled groups of patients here, and this was done by David Ludwig's group at Harvard Medical School, a friend of mine, and he looked at young people, and they had already gone on some other diet and lost a little bit of weight, and he wanted to see if they could lose a little bit more weight. And he had them on the different diets, and then he measured how well they were performing. And the way he measured performance was to see how many calories they were burning every time they were on this meal, when they were on these meals, and when they were measured over the course of the 1-month study. And it turns out the sure way to never lose any weight and to be hungry and to not burn a lot of calories is to follow that MyPlate protocol. And that's exactly what these data showed. In contrast, though, you're able to burn more calories if you load up with protein, and you're able to burn more calories if you load up with low glycemic load carbohydrates. And hold those 2 thoughts because you're going to hear them again. They were incorporated into the Synergy program. The next study that was also very compelling and also helped shape the program was looking at the Mediterranean diet. And this is popular, certainly over in Europe, and it's had a lot of studies related to it of reducing heart attack risk and things like that. And again, it was a wonderfully designed study. These were in older people, and it was 5 years. They were trying to get it to go 5 years, but the data were so impressive they had to cut it short. But there were 3 groups here of diets. One of them was Mediterranean Diet 1, which had olive oil, and these people had a lot of olive oil. They were using almost a quart every week, and they fried all their vegetables because they had a lot of vegetables to eat, and put everything in cooked with olive oil. The second group, Mediterranean 2, had, instead of olive oil, they had a very high nut consumption, cashews, pecans, walnuts, almonds, all the nice things that people like. And in both groups, they weren't told that you were on a diet. You didn't have to have certain serving sizes or anything. And the last group, let me guess, same thing, the MyPlate control diet, the one that we're telling everyone to follow. Well, Mediterranean diet people liked. You either had your nuts or your olive oil. You had lots of fruits and vegetables. Fish was emphasized, as was eating legumes. So maybe substituting a meal with some chickpeas or lentils rather than having some protein. And it was all about having white meat instead of red meat. And as you'll see on the right-hand side, the control, the low-fat diet, the one we follow here in the States, had a big emphasis. Sure, it likes fruits and vegetables and seafood, but it said, don't forget your low-fat dairy, and don't forget all those grains, rice, potato, and pasta and such. Those weren't even emphasized in the Mediterranean group. Everybody hauled out the same things, you know, carbonated beverages and commercial sweetened baked goods and all that, and the low-fat group in particular said, limit your use of oil, including olive oil. So at the end of the study, it got cut a couple of years early. The Mediterranean group, whether you had nuts or whether you had olive oil, it didn't matter. You had a 30% lower risk factor of cardiovascular event. That means heart attack, stroke, or even dying from heart disease. So why did this happen? How can food magically change how well your heart's going to be strong, and so impressively and in so short a time? What happened? A lot of it had to do with this nuts and olive oil, probably the biggest drivers of this. And again, we've embraced this concept for the Synergy program. You'll see these again. You'll also see fish and legume consumption. That means that vegetarian meals are welcome on this plan. And it also confirms what I showed you earlier. A little's a lot. These people didn't have to lose any weight to get these beneficial effects on heart disease. That means they were enjoying healthy flavors in fruits and vegetables, which were emphasized heavily in this Mediterranean group, and they didn't have to worry about losing weight. So a little's a lot. If that's your outcome, you want to lose weight, you'll get all these benefits as well. And the last thing I want to share with you is one of the favorite papers I've read over the years called The 7 Evils of the Western Diet. And I tried to get these out of the Synergy program, if you will. You won't see this stuff that's harmful, makes people heavy, makes them not feel well after they've eaten a meal. Having foods with very high glycemic indexes, not a good thing. Makes your blood sugar spike, makes your insulin levels rise, makes you lay down a lot of fat. Not enough vitamins and minerals, inadequate micronutrients. That's what this means. And one of the tenets of the program that we have, the Essential Foods Plan, is that you get all the essential nutrients that you need, that you're not rooting around every day looking for a nutrient. Too much acid and base, we've covered that with the fruits and vegetables. Too much salt, we've got that, rid of that. And not enough fiber, we've got plenty of fiber added now. And too little omega-3s, which you need to get from seafood. And also, the people don't eat the right macronutrient profile. That means they're never eating enough protein to keep full. And this was brought out in this paper, and we have corrected that problem following this Synergy SLMSmart plan. So the big emphasis, though, not only on protein, is the fruit and vegetables, which you'll appreciate are rather high in this program, but I didn't make it up. I put it in there simply because it corrects so many, 5 of the 7 evils that are listed here: the glycemic index, fiber, essential nutrients, acid base, and very high in potassium. So where are we? We got our program now based on the latest science. So let me briefly take you through this. First of all, every program you have to eat, and some programs then have other things, replacements of meals or supplements. And we've got it all, because I think everybody needs help. And I've counseled so many patients over the year. They need help. It's difficult just looking at food and saying, I can do it alone. I don't need any of these extra helpful hints. And I think people do better, and certainly based on my experience and what I've read in the literature. So the program's pretty easy. 2, 2, 3, 3, 6 plus is what we say here. And you need a couple of servings of dairy. I don't care if you get it in milk or in yogurt. A couple servings of fruit. Some protein, which you need to take at every meal. Some whole grains, but they're going to be, not only they'll have a low glycemic impact because I've got them spread out through the day, and you're not getting a plethora like you would be getting if you were following the My Plate plan. And lastly, lots and lots of vegetables. And you saw in the Mediterranean study, that's what people did. They did a lot of them. They fried them in some olive oil. They tasted really good, and people were quite satisfied. So the premise is here, it's everything you need, one-stop shopping. Follow that plan. You don't have to worry, am I getting enough? And so many people that I counseled that were overweight would ask me, is this enough? How do I know it's enough? I'm worried about being hungry. This way, you won't have to worry about getting any nutrients, and you won't have to worry about being hungry. Your brain's going to get a little sense at each meal, and by the end of the day, it's going to know that it's got all the nutrients it's missing, that it's not going to be missing anymore, and therefore it's not going to exacerbate any hunger throughout the day. Because chronic hunger leads to eating all the time and to eventually weight gain. So essential foods is easy. The food part's easy of the SLMSmart plan. Get 100% of what you need, satisfy every nutrient, and the good news, though, if you just eat everything on the 2, 2, 3, 3, 6 plus, you're not going to have enough calories in the day. What a surprise. You're going to end up eating about 1,200 calories every day, even by putting a little olive oil on your vegetables and eating all those foods that I showed you before. You're going to have a little wiggle room. And what I learned over the years is that people want wiggle room. They don't want to be saddled to such a rigid plan that a child of theirs has a birthday party and they want to have a little piece of cake. You have room. You probably need about 1,800 calories a day, yet you're 600 shy of that. You have a little piece of birthday cake, that's a couple hundred calories. You have a sweet tooth one night, you have a small candy bar, that's another 100 calories. You want to not go overboard, but you learn to control your eating, because once you get the essential foods in you're not going to be having those wild cravings like you did before. So there's a little wiggle room. It's not as stringent as everybody else, but it leads to the same satisfactory results that you want. So what's a day look like? You wake up, you say, I'm going to be on the SLMSmart plan. Start off, it's just easy to get the shake out of the morning, get it out of the way in the morning, mix it up, blend it in with a piece of fruit if you'd like, mix it up, drink it slowly over half an hour or so to get the full benefit of making you full, and you're off to the races. Get out of the kitchen, go off, do your exercise or to work or whatever you're going to do, and it's going to last you to lunchtime. At lunchtime, there's a vegetarian option. You can have some soybeans, brown rice, vegetable servings, and some fruit. And at dinner, then, you can have a non-vegetarian, where you have a piece of seafood, potato, more vegetables, 3 different kinds of vegetables, and a cup of yogurt, and that's your day. And again, if you have to get into something a little later than that, a couple hundred calories, not going to make you gain back any weight that you've lost. I'm a big proponent of substituting meals for vegetarian protein options. It's a great idea. People that do it are often leaner and live longer. But I was curious, though, about the caloric impact of subbing in vegetarian proteins, and published an article a couple of years ago on the subject. And I looked at, if you eat a piece of chicken at a meal, it's 150 calories, just plain-based chicken. Nice piece of chicken, people like that. If I wanted to get that same 28 grams of protein from some kidney beans, which are unbelievably high in protein and very good and have fiber and they're good for you, you'd need to have a bigger volume, 1.8 cups, and it would take up 400 calories. So it's going to be more calories if you're trying to get the same amount of protein. Now, I'm not telling you to be a vegetarian or not a vegetarian. I'm telling you to mix and match, but I'm telling you on the days that you're going to substitute in the vegetarian protein, you have to be careful because you're going to be creeping up. Certainly if you took a cup of almonds, which also provides very high protein, look at what it provides, 600 calories. That's, you know, almost 4 times more than what the chicken provides. You can do it, but I'm just saying on those days, watch what you get into for your non-essential foods. Low glycemic index foods are very important. I've written several articles on this and book chapters. I've been smitten with the concept. It makes so much sense. If you eat natural foods with carbohydrates, they usually don't wreak havoc with your blood sugar, you know, spiking it wildly and then letting it fall wildly and shooting up your insulin and letting that fall wildly. It can't happen with carbohydrates that just release steady glucose into the blood. People that eat low glycemic index foods weigh less, feel more satisfied during the day, have less hunger, and has less chance of getting chronic diseases of aging like heart disease or type 2 diabetes. These foods are, the low glycemic index foods are already built into your program. They're in your fruits and in your vegetables and in your small amounts of whole grains and any carb that you get into, you're just fine. So we've got the food part sorted out. What else is there? It's more than just about the food. It's about what else can add, you know, make the program stronger and make people stick with it and get better results. So I'm going to go through each of these: the health shake, the body cleansing, crave control, calorie burner, and of course the favorite, pro-arginine. We have to have that in here as well. It's very important for this program. So the first thing is a body cleansing, and this is pivotal for anyone trying to adopt a new program. Here you're going to embark on a weight loss program. You're going to take 90 days and lose some weight. The first week of every month, we recommend that you undergo the cleanse. I like it, obviously, for the obvious reasons where it cleanses the blood, purifies things, detoxifies things, but it's also a reminder that you're stepping up to the plate. You're going to do something new to yourself. You're going to take on this cleansing system, and then you're going to take on the diet program as well. We've included now a new set of herbs that have all been looked at by Commission E, which is a book that has taken the historical data and translated into present-day knowledge about how certain herbs work in the body. and we've selected the most robust herbs that work on the GI tract in terms of cleansing and for the blood in terms of cleansing the blood and detoxifying. The second thing that we have included, and you heard me talk a couple occasions about the merits of substituting one meal a day for a meal replacement shake. Our health shake does that, and it's so robust it covers a vegetable, a protein, one of your whole grains, and one of your dairy if you're going to mix it with a glass of milk. Now, it's a special shake. You're not going to find any other on the market that has this many attributes of what we're trying to cover in a single meal. In fact, it'd be hard to design a meal almost as perfect that you'd be eating the good stuff. First of all, it's very satiating. It's got whey protein in here, which has been shown to be more making you feel fuller than most of the other proteins, casein, soy, beef, tuna, and eggs. It's been tested against all of them. Also, we added some dietary fat and fiber. You don't want the stomach emptying too quickly, and those two slow things down. Fat and fiber slow things down beautifully. So basically, you want to sip on the shake 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and let it get your full effect where it fills your belly up and makes you full. It's also got the correct calorie-protein ratio, better than any other meal replacement. Sometimes I see these anemic-looking shakes where they don't have enough calories, certainly don't have enough protein. Often they're devoid of fat. You don't want any of that. You need enough calories throughout the day, and you need a calorie-protein ratio as how we've established in the shake. It will increase satiety not only right when you eat it, but studies have been done long-term at the end of the day when people come back at the end of the day and they're preparing dinner and they're resting, sitting in front of the TV at night. The brain activity, according to an MRI test, is still showing that the brain center for looking around for food is suppressed, that the brain is not looking to have any more meals or any more food in it. So I think we've got a nice balance here of what you need to stay full at your first meal and all through the day. We also have a time-release blend of protein. So your muscles are bathed with protein over a long period of time. This is important, I told you, protein for satiety, but also in keeping your muscle mass firm. It's a big deal. When you lose weight, you always lose a little protein. We can prevent you from losing a lot of protein. And we have time-release energy. So often people on a weight control diet say, oh, I'm lack of energy. I can't get to the gym. I don't even feel like taking a walk. All I want to do is lie on the sofa. Well, we can fix that. You've got calories here from carbohydrates and fats, and we've added different sources of low, middle, and middle glycemic indexes. They make you full over a longer period of time. And then fat. We have fast and slow-burning fats that keep you energy. You have that good energy over a longer period of time. So you're certainly good to your next meal with the time-release sources of energy we've included. Now, what else is it? People have problems not only at a meal, but they have trouble in between meals. And we've assembled a unique mix of nutrients that keep you full up to 3 hours. Because usually when you have a snack, you're hungry already, so you want to be satisfied immediately, and then you don't want to have to get into another snack. So how do we do that? Well, we had 3 little ingredients here that I've not seen assembled in this way before at the right amounts. First thing is we have an extract from potato, and that's not from the carb part, from the protein part. And in fact, the amount that we've added here has shown to increase satiety and promote a sense of fullness up to 3 hours. So you have one ingredient. Number 2, we have a fiber blend that slows the rate your stomach empties. Therefore, you're going to have a modulation of blood sugar levels. You're going to feel full. You're not going to get a spike and too energetic from the glucose, and it helps promote laxation as well. So if you drink this slowly, over again 30 minutes or so, you're going to get a nice filling in your stomach right when you take it. So it would be like, having a big piece of candy or cake or something that you feel full right away. You're going to feel it as well with this. And lastly, we've added chromium at an amount that is shown to produce weight loss on its own. So you definitely want to have a crave control every day for the chromium alone to lose some weight, keep your lean body mass in check, improve your satiety, and reduce your cravings. And this is a huge factor that chromium alone has been able to demonstrate in the literature. The cravings that people get for carbohydrates, fast foods, sweets, junk food, and the like is diminished when you have a little chromium added. And here you're getting it in your shake, in your snack product. Calorie burner is one of my favorites. Everybody needs help, and everybody needs to keep their energy expenditure high. I showed you that study out of Harvard Medical School where people's energy metabolism just slowed way down when they were eating the My Plate diet, and it got revved way up when they were having lots of protein, like you see on SLMSmart, and low glycemic index carbohydrates, also what you see. I have an extra trick. If you take the calorie burner, you get another way to increase the rate that your body burns calories. By mixing 2 ingredients, green tea and time-release caffeine, we've been able to show in the literature that you'll get an extra 5% weight loss. It burns more calories, and when it's burning these calories, it burns them predominantly as fat. People feel good from having the product. It's not enough caffeine to give a jittery side effect, and so it's safe, and it's been shown in clinical studies at this combination to just give people that extra little thing they need when they're eating well, just to help them rev up their engines and burn a few more calories. And lastly, the one that you all could lecture me on, the benefits of the pro-arginine. And what was interesting to me, and we did research on this, on arginine at Harvard Medical School when we fed it to many patients, but I'm interested, it does the obvious thing of the blood flow and exercise and giving you more energy, and all that's wonderful, but it also helps promoting weight loss. Those of you that use it more than once a day, and I suspect many of you do, it is pivotal in helping with weight loss and helping change the hormonal milieu of raising some of the important hormones like adiponectin, which is it makes you feel full. So if you have a lot of that floating around, that's a good thing. Pro-arginine uniquely is able to do that. So it's got to be part of any program that you're doing. So lastly, in closing, everybody knows about exercise. It's got to be a part of everybody's diet, but it's good for you, makes you stronger, relieves your stress, makes you feel better. But really, a little's a lot again. Give us 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Not a lot for you, and you'll get all the benefits of good exercise. And I will stop here. And summary, though, thank you very much. I presented here the SLMSmart program. We have a mixture of not only how to eat properly, essential foods, essential nutrients, rich in fruits and vegetables, but also other tools that can help you lose body weight, body fat, and achieve and maintain a healthy lifestyle. So I thank you very much for your attention, and I'm happy to take some questions.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bell. That was amazing. I absolutely love the information that you have been sharing with us tonight, and more importantly, the amount of science and research that has gone into the SLMSmart system. This has absolutely been a treat to be with you here on the webinar tonight. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.